One more question.
Yeah, I found it interesting, we've been here, what, 30 years worth of mayors? Nobody's mentioned the banks and nobody's mentioned the industrial parks. So are those easy things to discuss, or are they not?
We're unusual there too. We're the only in the state that's a private corporation, industrial foundation. There's none. I used to say there was somebody out down in western Kentucky, but there is none now. That's very, very unusual. It's worked very well here. I'm not sure it would work a lot of places, but it does work here. And you know, we've kind of gone into a slump here with finding jobs like everybody does. But we actually have a few prospects right now that are beginning to look a little better. So I think it's worked pretty well, but you know, it can always work better.
Well, in terms of the Industrial Foundation, I think that they're very fortunate to have had that in place since the early 50s, and we were one of the early groups to get one going, and my dad was involved in that back in the 50s.
That's all.
Yeah. But I think when you mention banks, it brings to my mind the fact that, and this is not just in Shelbyville, this is every community suffers now from the fact that there's no local ownership. I mean, when I came in as mayor, we had Lawson's and Griggs Hire, and we had Smith McKinney, we still had that, but we got a prescription shop, and on and on and on. We still are fortunate to have Biaggi's and Tracy's. I'm amazed we still have Biaggi's and Tracy's in a community that has a Walmart. We used to have a lot of local ownership. The banks were all locally owned. When I came in as mayor, we had Bank of Shelbyville, we had Citizens Union Bank, Farmers and Traders Bank, we had the Cumberland, actually we had the Federal the Savings and Loan.
Change names every few years.
And then we had you know, Shelby County Trust Bank. We had all that was locally owned. Every one of those banks was locally owned. Every one of the businesses downtown was locally owned. When you needed to raise money for a community project, you had a lot of local ownership willing to put money in the project. Now, it's like you got to go to some guy in Louisville or some guy in Pittsburgh to ask for money, and good luck with that. So it's a much different world. You know, everything's changing, and that to me is something that all of our smaller communities in particular struggle with, is how do we deal with the fact that local ownership is not what it used to be.
On the industry side, on the Industrial Foundation, on Marshall, how long have you been on? 30 some years? Close to 40 now?
40.
And I know I've been on for the last 15, but we still have, all the mayors are on that board, the county judges on that board, so there's still government involvement, so they're a part of anything that we do.
Talk about what they said. I remember going to Mr. Charles Randolph's bank up on Main Street. It was Bob Pierce, myself, and I forgot who the third and fourth one are. And we went back to see Mr. Charles Randolph about borrowing some money. So we go back, Bill McCarthy was one of them. And we go back there to talk, and we come out, and he turns to his right-hand man and said, "Who the hell are those people?" I don't think we're going to get along. Mr. Randolph was a little slow when he put down his money.
Who was Randolph?
Charles.
Richard better.
Can I say something?
Yeah, better.
I think we owe a great deal of credit and thanks to the men who are mayors today. They're so much more involved in being mayor than there was when Pop Matthews was mayor in '46. I felt like it was an honorary position then that he had. And Roy Jones was his chief of police, and Roy came up and said, "Mr. Matthews, somebody's blowing out the street lights at night. What should I do about it?" And he said, "Well, get some of your friends and just go out at night and see if you can find out who they are." Well, a couple of weeks later, he came back and he said, "We found out. One of them's one of your sons." It wasn't mine.
Roy Jones.
Okay, thank you, Betty. Well said. Again, we want to thank Ron and Kay Walgie for their fine hospitality. We got cookies and soft drinks.
Dining room, so we'd have.
Oh, we'll find it.